Hi everyone, it's Nigel Tye from Leadership Alchemy, the leader who's actually led. Another little story. I had the privilege of being the Senior Medical Operations Manager for the London 2012 Olympics. I looked after the whole park and the opening ceremony, closing ceremonies, all the lovely sneaky beaky interesting things about the opening ceremonies, which was interesting. But I also had to do the engagement of all the new volunteers, the amazing games makers that we had. And we did inductions and we did the allocations of what stadium or venue they were going to be, and looking after their medical skills and making sure that they were actioned properly, make sure they were in the appropriate position for their skill set, and also, if we could, something they were interested in. And one day when I was doing one of the big inductions, and it was in the Copper Box, one of the big arenas, and I had the stands full of about 400 staff, and we did a big briefing on how the games were going to be run, what's expected of them, security, passes, everything. Yeah. And then in the afternoon, we actually went off and did the medical training. We introduced them to the kit that we were using and the protocols and the systems and the call signs and the paperwork and everything else. And at the end of all of that training, I had a lady come up to me, retired, so she was of a little bit of age, and said, Nigel, look, I really want to be a part of the medical team. Absolutely love today. What do you need from me to be a part of your medical team? And I said, well, look, the minimum we need is a first aid at work certificate. If you can get me one of them, look, here's my card, send it to me. If you want to be a part of the team, we'd love to have you on board. Send me your certificate. I'll make sure you're allocated appropriately. And she was like, great, thanks. Yeah, brilliant. But I asked one more question because I was curious. And it's like, well, without being rude, if you don't have a medical qualification, why would you like to be a part of the medical team? And her answer shocked me, and I'll never forget it. She said, oh, I used to be a professor in anesthesiology, and I was the chair of the Anesthetic Society of the UK. But I've been retired for 2 years now and don't have any medical licenses. I just got and told this lady to get a first aid at work certificate. And she did. And she was a huge asset to me as a team leader. I could put her with her skill set as a first aider with one of my baby junior doctors who had all the will in the world and they were keen as hell, but they didn't have the level of experience maybe in certain situations. But to have someone of this lady's ilk, standing, professionalism and knowledge as a backup in support of some of my doctors was invaluable for the games. You do not know what some of your team are capable of. They have skill sets that if you don't ask, you'll never know. And this is about getting to know your team. This is about getting to know the people in your team. What else can they bring to the game? They're not just a printer or a marketer or a salesperson. They've got other experiences that may be of huge value to you. But if you don't have these relationships, you don't have this communication, you don't have this openness, you're only gaining 50, 60% of them doing a simple task. So get to know your team, get to know their skill sets, get to know their interests, and you never know what other value that may bring to your business. Go and have a cup of coffee, plump your ass down on the corner of the desk and start talking and building a relationship with some of your team. See how that takes you in your business.